Hi guys, welcome. What I'm doing today is I'm going to give you a little bit of tips and tricks to do with sewing out, or I should say embroidering snap tabs. The design I'm doing today is actually a design I've had for quite a while. It's a fairly simple design from Deja Vu Designs. I'm doing a TARDIS. Now you'll have to bear with me. It's been a little bit since I've done one of these. I'm just getting my machine set up and ready to go. But what I use is, I've noticed some people are using felt, which is great, but in a keychain it's not going to hold up. You put it on your bag, it's not going to hold up to long-lasting effects. Sorry I'm not showing my face, but I just want to do this as quick as possible so it's a little bit easier for you guys to understand. I use several different types of mediums. My most common is vinyl. This is a little on the thicker side. It's not marine vinyl, but it's a fabric vinyl. It's something that a lot of people use in applique. I use this to make purses and bags, so it does hold up quite a bit. Sometimes I use like the sparkly vinyls like Angela sells for the appliques. That works really, really well for keychains. This is something that I've gotten from, I think I got this from My Punk Broidery. I'm not quite sure. I don't quite remember. I will put a link to some of the places that I get the embroidery vinyl from in the description. Like I said, what I'm doing is I'm working on, I'm going to remove you from my stand here. Like I said, I'm fairly new to making YouTube videos, so this is going to be a work in progress. You guys are going to, help me with this. I have the design set in my machine. Now, I am working on a Brother Persona PRS100. These designs can absolutely be done on a single needle machine, because this obviously is, and this is the 5x7 hoop. Some of them can be done on machines with a 4x4 hoop. The difference is the tab that is on them, on the end, is shorter, which those you would use an eyelet instead of a snap tab, and you just insert the keychain in there. What I'm going to do first is, obviously, I'm going to take and I'm going to stitch out my tack down stitch. Now, the first design that I'm using is a very simple design. Very light density, because it doesn't have a lot of, I'm going to turn the speed down here a little bit so you can hear me talk while I'm stitching this out. Your stabilizer is also based on your density. This one I'm just using a simple iron-on stabilizer that I, I use it all the time. This is just my basic stitch to show my placement, because occasionally I do cut out my vinyl pieces on my Silhouette Cameo 3. So I pre-cut the designs, and then with the tack down stitch, I just lay it on top of there and I go from there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place my vinyl on top of the design, and I'm going to stitch out the next stitch. Wow. Stitch! Which this here is the windows in the TARDIS. I'm just going to let that stitch out. There is a lot of different options out there for keychains, snap tabs, key fobs, whatever you want to call them. I am by no means an expert, but I have done thousands of keychains since I started embroidering in 2013. I started with a Brother SE400, which is a sewing and embroidery combination machine. Its maximum hoop size was a 4x4. Then I upgraded to a Brother PE770, which its maximum hoop size was actually a 5x7, but you could get a multi-positional hoop for. So I could do larger projects. I just had to open them in software and use a reposition, which was great when it came to doing keychains, because I could put more keychains in a hoop. I just had to do the one side first and then move the position and do the other side, and I could get more in a hoop. I last year in the middle of the pandemic upgraded to the Persona, and which I absolutely love. If anybody has any questions, comments about different things with the Persona, I'm more than willing to answer those questions, do a tutorial on anything you want me to do. Like I said, when I'm done with this tutorial, I'm going to work on a tutorial for the hooded towels. I have been doing hooded towels for I think about 6 years. I can answer any questions that you have on those. I can show you everything that I have done with the peaker designs. Now the next step is going to be the outline, which it doesn't seem like I have the right color on here. So I have to do a quick thread change out, which is real simple on this machine. Sorry, and again, like I said before, I'm very new to YouTube videos. This is going to be something new, something different that I want to get into doing. I do need to, get a little bit more equipment. I am recording this all on a phone right now. If you have any questions, comments, anything, I am more than happy to answer those questions and comments. Just leave them down below. Please click like and subscribe so that the more content that I put on, the more you guys are going to see. Share this with anybody that has, questions. Like I said, I will share also in the questions and comments. I should say in the description, sorry. Where I get some of my designs from. Some of my favorite ones are Deja Vu Designs, Designs by Little B, Creations by Connie. She has some of the most amazing Among Us designs right now. I'm sorry if this gets a little blurry. I'm attached to my embroidery table. One thing that I do highly recommend is a very sharp pair of scissors. You're going to need these for 2 reasons. One, you obviously need it to cut vinyl. But the thicker you get with the vinyl, which means the more layers, you're going to need it to cut through there. You're also going to need it to go around curves, in grooves. Some of my favorites are by Fiskars. These are one of my favorite pair. They cut really, really well. Oddly enough, and you're going to see this here in a few minutes. Actually, no, I'm not going to need to do it on here. But when I cut out appliques, when I cut out the hooded towel appliques, this is my absolute favorite thing to cut my applique. It will cut applique fabric really, really well that has been interfaced with heat and bond. I also have a pair of these guys. it goes real smooth. All I do is snip a piece out of the fabric, and then I just run it along. Make sure this point goes down around your fabric, because you see the little ball. That keeps it from going through your fabric. You just go slow, and it cuts extremely well. Now, of course, eventually they do get dull and you have to replace them. These are just a cheap pair. I've gone through so many. A lot of times I just order several at a time. Especially if you go with the more inexpensive ones, you can get them pretty cheaply on Amazon. You can pick them up at Walmart, Joann Fabrics, pretty much anywhere that sells sewing supplies, you can get a seam ripper. My favorite go-to thread is Isacord. Main reason I went with Isacord is my local quilt shop carries Isacord thread. Now I am going to turn this up to go just a little bit quicker here to get down the remainder of the stitching. I don't want to make this video too long, but I wanted to, you know, explain a few things. Again, I'm going to pop you out of here so you don't vibrate as much. But after we're stitching the design, it's a fairly simple design. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the backing on. Now, not everybody's going to have this table. I do. It's great. It works wonderful. You'll see here another good benefit for it in a minute. You have several options when doing the backing. I use double-sided tape. You can use fabric tack. What I'm going to do here now is I'm going to pop this off. Now, because I didn't cut 2 pieces of vinyl, I'm actually going to go ahead and cut this off just to the side. And because now I know the approximate size of my design, I'm going to cut that off. I dropped my double-sided tape, so I need to reach down and get that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slide that out of my way for a second here so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take some double-sided tape. You really don't need much. You can use masking tape. You can use pretty much anything you want. Like I said, it's not real. It's not an exact science. I'm going to put this down. Excuse me. I'm going to take the adhesive off. Now, all I need to do is I need to make sure that this goes exactly under where my design stitched. Because what you're doing is you're just making sure that the entire back piece of the design is stitched. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this back on here, and I'm going to stitch down the final step. Almost every design has this. If not, sometimes you may have to go back and re-stitch down the tack down stitch. I put it on backwards, guys. I almost made a boo-boo. See? I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. There we go. Now, we're going to let that stitch out. Like I said, it's going to redo this. And it is actually the tack down stitch. What that's going to do is secure the backing to the back side. You're going to have a nice clean, stitch. To do your keychains, you can use snap tabs, you can use rivets, you can use Chicago screws, whatever you want to secure it. There we go. We're all done. I'm just going to take it out of there. We're going to pop it out of the hoop. And you're going to grab your scissors. Now, like I said, the sturdier the stabilizer, the stiffer your keychain is going to be. If you're using a very thin vinyl, something that is kind of on the flimsy side, you definitely want to use either a cutaway stabilizer. You can use tearaway, but you want your keychains to be a little more substantial because people are going to put these on their keys. They're going to hang them from their purse. They're going to hang them from their backpack. You want something that's going to hold up to everyday wear and tear. Now, a lot of times what I do is, once I've done that part, I will go through and, you know, clean up my sides, make it a little neater. I'll take a lighter, which I can't seem to find at the moment, and go around my edges just to, you know, clean it up. Then what I do is I'll take a hole punch and I will punch a hole just above this right here and up here. I use snap tabs most of the time. Then I'll fold it over. I put my keychain in. Now, like I said, I used a stabilizer that I had here, so it does make it a little flimsy. I have used, in between the layers, Decovil Light. I've used Decovil Heavy. I've used Pellin. There is a lot of different stabilizers out there. I have also added an extra layer in the middle of felt, just to make them thicker and a little stiffer. Vinyl is definitely my go-to. I have done some with fabric where I use an iron-on vinyl to put across the top. Now that is not HTV vinyl. It is an iron-on clear vinyl. So it makes your fabric into vinyl, basically, is what it does. I have also used waterproof canvas for keychains. The only downfall with waterproof canvas is because of the constant poking of the needle, it does make it just a little bit weaker. I've gone through hundreds of different options when it comes to, you know, what I have used for my keychains. Give me a moment and I will, this was a mess up I did. I got off kilter, but here's some of the Among Us ones that I had started to work on from Creations by Connie. Give me 1 second. Step away from my camera here a minute. Get my little box of tricks out here. These are other items that I've done with vinyl. Mask keepers. Here's some of the keychains from Creations by Connie. Now, this one here, because I used a thicker stabilizer, I used felt for the back. These are water bottle holders. from Creations by Connie. This is also a thicker stabilizer and snaps. It's just basic cam snaps. These are hand sanitizer holders. This is also Creations by Connie. This is a larger one. This one is, I think, Designs by Little Bee. I could be wrong. We also have chapstick holders. These are all basically done the same way. Now, like this one would be done in the hoop, like this. And then on the back side, where you put your backing. Now, like this one I did, that's fabric. And then you also have to do this piece on the back side. Now, that piece itself is not lined. I don't know if you can see this. It's just the vinyl. But I am actually planning on doing at least one tutorial on this, on how to do these. This is another style of that, where this is actually done on the front side. So that's there, and then it's got the snap up here. You can really do these keychains in so many different ways. Hand sanitizer holders. This one is done on chalkboard fabric. There's more glitter vinyl. There's so many options. This is one of my favorites. This is a Band-Aid keeper. I know mamas use Band-Aids often, even daddies. We always, need Band-Aids. I keep one of those in my purse at all times. My kids are adults and I still need Band-Aids. But please, if you like this tutorial and want to see more, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more. Share it with your friends. Share it with anybody that, you think might need some help. I know that there are people that make pacifier clips. This is your little passy clip that you would find on, I think I got these from Cam Snaps. These are great for the water bottle holders. You just snap in there. I got my placement a little off, so it doesn't hold real well, but perfect. Put this on a backpack, on a purse. You can carry your little water bottle. But thank you guys. I will see you next time. Have a great evening.